Welcome to Stardom Review. I am your co-host Andre C. Over here is your co-host Melball. Welcome to the show, Melball. How we doing this week?
We are doing really good. It's been a weird week. Not gonna lie, it's been
hmm
a really weird week. But obviously, I'm in a good mood. It's been some good weird. It's been a good weird week, Andre. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. When you said you're in a good mood, that just made me laugh because things.
Shush. Moving on, we have an amazing show to talk about tonight. We are talking about what was it called? The Supreme Fight Show?
Yeah, Stardom
Right?
Supreme Fight. This show was like, I think out of this show, there was only maybe two matches I wasn't really there for, and they still turned into really great matches.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking forward to this card since it was announced, and the main event. That's where for me this whole show hinged on, and it delivered.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, my friend, it did. Let me tell you, I started watching this show very late last night as I was busy in the evening. But that was the last show I saw, 3 a.m. I'm sitting here absolutely enamored by that match. Let's get into it because I feel like this first match, it's gonna be a doozy to explain.
All right,
This
so
first
as you can see
match.
there, we have the Stardom Supreme Fight Show, and we started out with what is it? The Nanami Roulette.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, Nanawa Roulette. I
Nanawa,
apologize.
yeah. Naniwa, yeah.
So, as I watched this match, I had to figure some things out because
Yeah.
just like a Captain's Fall match, they don't explain the rules. Well, they do, but they're in Japanese, and we don't understand Japanese.
We'll get
So,
there one day.
someday I'm very slowly learning. Um, so I was looking at this, and I thought, so as I was watching the match, and I realized, okay, so you can win by pinfall, you can win by
Mhm,
submission. Those are the first
mhm,
couple. And then I find out there's a time limit draw of five
mhm,
minutes. Then I find out if you go over the top and fall to the floor, you're eliminated.
mhm.
So, yeah.
It was a bit of this was the closest I think I would say to a North American cluster, but more organized.
hmm
To be honest, this, I don't have extensive notes on this. When I say extensive, it's like this person came in, they did this, they left.
Yeah,
This
pretty much.
person came
That's
in,
my
they did
notes.
this,
There's a
they left.
couple of the matches that I have more notes, but those were the longer of these
Mm,
little. So we're going to get into it.
mhm,
So it's essentially a gauntlet match.
mhm,
Is what this is, a random gauntlet. So it's Maya Iwatani enters first, and she's
mhm,
supposed to use the person that created this match, just like Chris Jericho created the Money in the Bank.
mhm, mhm.
And then the second entrant is Waka Tsukiyama. And so Waka pretty much dominates this match almost the entire time.
Mhm.
Momo in the end hits the
Maya,
Dragon
Maya.
Soup. Oh, sorry, Maya. Maya. Did I say Maya?
Mama's
Hmm.
later.
Momo's later. Mayu Utani hits, Mayu Utani hits the Dragon Suplex Bridging Dragon Suplex to eliminate Waka Tsukiyama. Next
Mhm,
person in is
mhm.
Momo Kogo. So here's Momo. That's why because I
Here's
was gonna
Mama.
no because it was like it was right below the next note down. So it's
Mhm,
the tag partners are fighting on the apron. In the end, Mayu applies like an arm trap stretch muffler and gets the submission on Momo Kogo. And then
mhm,
out comes Miyu Umesaki making her return since getting injured and having to pull out of the last big show.
mhm.
Um, really good spot, but like rolls back and forth. Miyu gets a really that DDT. Her DDTs are great.
Yeah, really
But
good.
Mayu gets the wheelbarrow, like a wheelbarrow
Dragon
positioning to hit a
suplex?
suplex, and then pulls it into like a dragon suplex. Like
Yeah,
it was like a standing wheelbarrow dragon suplex, so cool. And Miyu
yeah.
taps out.
I mean, how
It's
can you not? Did you see how her back was bending? My
she was
goodness.
she was bending like a pretzel. And then fifth is Tam Nakano. So this is where I think
Mhm,
this might have been the best two pairing outside of the next two pairing out of the entire
mhm,
show. These two
mhm,
killed it. They have 5 minutes and they
mhm.
just wrestled the hell out of each other for 5 minutes.
100%.
Like
Mhm.
just think of everything Tam does, she does it. Yeah, everything Mayo does, she does it. It was an absolutely insane 5 minutes. And then
Mhm.
as was it Mayu hits bridging dragon suplex, and the ref counts 1, 2, and his hand is coming down, and Tam kicks out, and then the bell goes. So I thought that the ref counted because the ref hit the mat
I thought too, yeah, that
after
he hit
she
3.
kicked out. Like he hit the mat.
Mhm.
So I thought, okay, they're counting. Okay, there was a mess up here. She's supposed to be pinned, or the bell announcer got a little trigger happy and rang the
Mm.
bell. And then I realized, and then it goes the screen, everything goes black, and then so I'm thinking, okay, Mayu's going against. So I'm like, okay, so eliminating Tam. Okay,
Nope, not
whatever.
the case.
And then out comes Mina Shirakawa. I'm like, oh, awesome, Mayu, Mina Shirakawa. And then Natsu, then they do it again, and that's what comes. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, and then I realized, then I had to research this after. It's a 5-minute draw because
Mhm.
the five
Mhm.
minutes went. I didn't realize that
This was
because I went.
also where I discovered the over the top rope elimination part because as Tom was up on the top turnbuckle there trying to do a dive onto Mayu while she's on the apron, poor little Waka still in the corner
Yes.
having a little aneurysm, like no, don't do it.
So I thought it was Waka turning on Tam.
No.
I thought she was distracting Tam so Mayu could get up there and attack her. That's why
Yeah,
I was
no.
super confused. And then I
Yeah, no, she's
realized
like, no, don't jump. You could get eliminated.
that it was
It was
when, and
cute.
then so the next match, it's when Tam does it to Natsupoi. Then I
Hmm.
realized, oh, it's over the top rope elimination. Oh,
Hmm.
and that's when I realized,
This match
okay,
was a learning curve for everyone.
just like a Captain's Fall match, we had to learn as it went. Holy
Yeah,
man.
we really did. We
Uh,
really did.
so we get the other great part of the match in
Hmm.
Mina Shirakawa versus Natsupoi. Again, another amazing 5 minutes of just
Hmm.
awesome women's professional wrestling. Like everybody knows my love for Natsupoi and for Mina Shirakawa. Like I
Hmm.
love both these women. Mina Shirakawa is legitimately, her and Giulia are my number one. They're both my number ones here in Stardom. And like, dude, that spinning back fist from Mina, that cartwheel bomb by Nat, just the pure athleticism from these girls was so flipping good. Like,
Hmm.
oh, I love this match. But again, this ended up in a they traded a couple pins, and then the bell sounds, and we got another draw. Oh, sorry, it was during the figure four
Yes.
that it would happen, and the bell
Hmm.
goes during the figure four, and I think Mina got up almost like kind of celebrating. The ref like told her, no,
Yeah.
time limit. You could just see her go. It was cut. It was,
Hmm.
and then everything
Hmm.
went, and it kept going black, and then going to the screen. Like they turned the lights out in the arena.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oof, little shot in the dark there. The one thing I did want to say about this, sorry, two things. Mina with that top rope assisted DDT where she got
Mm.
Natsupoi's feet on that top
Yeah, the green killer.
turnbuckle and drilled her. That what? Greek killer?
Yeah, like the New Japan guys keep doing that, calling
Is
the
it
second
greed
rope
or green?
green. At least I
Green?
keep hearing green killer. I don't know, but it's like
I mean,
I
I guess
assume.
it depends on who's doing it. If it's like a good guy, green killer makes sense. Greed killer makes
Well, they
sense as
call
a
it
heel,
green
but
killer when Kenta does it. So,
it's yeah, see, I heard greed.
oh, okay, whatever.
Internet and commentary, enunciate your words.
Very much
Hey,
so.
it works out though. I'm terrible with move names, as everyone is very, very well aware of.
Hey, you've taught me a
But
bunch
that
of
by Mina,
names.
amazing, as well as that dragon screw that she was working towards that entire match on Natsupoi. When she finally got it, she sent Natsupoi flying. I absolutely loved it.
I looked it up. It is the green killer. It's
It is
listed as one of Kenta's
green,
moves. It's the green killer. Yeah,
the color, not
green,
the
the color green, and killer. It's essentially it's the
not the
DDT that
sin.
Randy Orton does. It's Randy Orton's like Hangman
Yes.
DDT. Yeah,
Yeah, on the second rope, yeah.
yeah, but yeah. So yeah, but dude, these girls just killed it, man.
Mhm.
So
100%,
and then
100%.
we move on to the eighth and ninth entrance, which are Mariah May and Mai Sakurai. I loved both.
Mhm.
This again. This was so much fun. May looked so
Mhm.
good and so dominant, like really showing off her power in this. I really
Mhm.
thought, and May really showing off the athleticism this girl has. Like it's
Oh,
so good.
yeah, yeah.
In the end, May gets a pop up slam, then hits the tombstone. I can't remember what the name of it's called.
Happily
Uh,
ever after.
Happily ever after. I'm gonna write that down.
Because I called it. As soon as it happened, I was like, yeah, happily ever after. Oh, it's 1 a.m. I should probably not be screaming that.
Yeah. So she gets the happily ever after tombstone and gets the win. And then out comes Thekla. Dude, these two proceed to have and again, this is probably the third best part of this match is Thekla and Mirai May. They had an amazing back and forth. And I think they went about 3.5 minutes here just fighting and just choking the chokes, the octopus stretch from Thekla. The spear from Thekla was crazy. Just they were great. And then they fought over the top rope and they were on the apron. And then they fight. And then what was it?
She went for a kick.
Yeah, and then they both fall.
So it looked like Thekla kicked Mariah. Mariah went flying, but instead of just going flying, she grabbed the foot and yanked Thekla off with her, causing that double elimination, which disappointed me. I wanted to see Thekla keep going.
Me too. Well, I want to see Mariah keep going, but that's my personal feelings. I'm a Club Venus fan, baby. But Mariah clearly landed first.
Correct.
So to me, that means Thekla's still in the match. Because technically, when Mariah lands, that match ends because she's eliminated her opponent. But Thekla is Mariah lands, and then a second or two later, Thekla lands. So it's
a technicality. Maybe we can argue that Thekla could challenge for the end of this tournament contract thing.
Maybe she should be challenging Saki for the contract.
I also just want to point out that her new entrance gear, holy hot diggity dang,
straight fire.
Oof, I love that. That girl is like goals to me right now. Everything about her I want to have. Those shoulders, those arms, that swagger, that smile. I want that. I want to be Thekla right now. Yeah. I was disappointed to see her eliminated.
Yes, I was disappointed to see Mirai May eliminated. So then we get
the pink is really growing on me, and she is doing so super well. Like from the moment we saw her, she's just been getting better and better and better and better. My goodness.
So we did get to see 2/3 of Club Venus in this. Xia Brookside XV is back in England was in England for this weekend, working a couple shows. I think England. She was working shows outside of Japan this weekend. She had committed to, so she was not on this card, which is disappointing because I love me some Xia Brookside too.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see her.
So 11th and 12th is Natsuka Tora and Momo Hanazono. That name hates me. Again, this is a battle of power, really good battle of power. But again, this is a battle of Tora's power versus Hanazono's kind of weird, crazy.
She's like Yano.
And then she has this bubble thing she comes out with, and at one point, she's smacking Tora with the flower. Then she cracks Tora with the plastic toy bubble maker, and then she trades it. Yeah, she breaks it part of it, and she trades it with Tora and takes Tora's pipe, and she swings the pipe at Tora, and this is where Tora just obliterates the rest of the toy over Momo Hazono's head or Momoka's head, just shatters it.
And bubbles everywhere too. Did you see that? Yeah, it was like a freaking wand where she racked her on the head and it was just like bubbles.
Well, that was the one that Momoka did, and bubbles whenever. And then there's the one that Tora did, shattered.
Tora.
Oh no, but yeah, there was more there. But it was the same thing with Momoka when she hit the initial one on Tora. Oh my god. But in the end, they end up on the apron, and Momoka tries to German her off the apron, and she's dangling off the apron.
Just kicking.
She gets back up, and then Tora goes for the FU, but Momo hits her in the head with another thing, and they fall together to the floor. Now, this one I was very okay with because it seemed like they both kind of landed together on the floor.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, they're both double eliminated.
Yeah.
That
one was fun. I enjoyed the confetti at the end, where she exploded the confetti and it scared Tora and they fell down. And yeah.
Well, it was like something she hit her with and exploded confetti, and then
the confetti,
make Tora fall.
Yeah. But I really enjoy Hanazono. She's very much like a fun, almost carnival version of Yano.
Interesting Yano.
Yeah, less like Yano.
So 13th we get Billy Can Death. It's literally Billy Ken Death, not Fuki
Yeah,
Ken Death.
and
It's
I'm not
Billy
gonna
Ken
lie,
Death.
this is like supposed to be the good clown, and I have to say the makeup on this one has to be the creepiest makeup I've ever seen on a clown in my life. And she's like smiling like perpetually the whole time, like
Well, she's supposed
freaking.
to be a good one. Why didn't she call it Billy Ken Life, not Death? Like good, Death is
Why
bad.
didn't she
Life is
look
good.
happy? She
No, but
literally looked like a clown out of the It series. Like it was creepy. And again, the makeup didn't move.
and she's using Gunther and slash Timothy Thatcher's music, which just doesn't help to make it less creepy because it's a great that's a great song. Don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
but paired with that just makes it creepy.
Yeah, and then her mannerisms too. It's like they were so over the top. Exactly what you expect out of a clown. But like at one point she's like planking in the corner with her feet straight out, like, you know, doing that with her feet. And I'm just like, I know you're decked in gold and you're supposed to be the happy clown because you actually have a happy face. But I'm like, every time they went on her face, I was like, that is my nightmare. I
Yeah, me
didn't
too.
have a clown fear until I saw that clown. And now I'm like really unsettled.
And then her opponent is Yuna Mizumori. These two have a really good back and forth at the start,
Mhm,
but then it just kind of breaks down, and the end is a stomp to the foot and a poke to the eye, and she rolls her up. And this is kind of where the match kind of fell apart for me, like
mhm.
including the next one, because and then the next person out is Saki
Handling.
Kashima. Or no, sorry, that wasn't sorry. That
Yeah,
was in
yeah.
the next
No,
match.
you're right.
But yeah, she missed the splash, and then yeah, Billy can get the O'Connor roll, and then this is where everything the 15th person is Saki Kashima, and
Mhm.
this is the spot I think I liked the least on the entire match was these two, and I think
Interesting.
Saki Kashima is great, but
Mhm,
it's
mhm.
her, and I didn't even like the one before this with Yuna. Yuna just fine, but I'm not a fan of Fukikin Death or Billy whatever the I'm not a fan of the Death
The
character,
clown.
the clown, the Death clown. I'm really not, and I just find it ridiculous and like too over the top, like too over the top for my personal feeling. You know what I mean?
Hmm,
It just I'm not a big
that's
fan. And
fair.
then Saki and her had a good back and forth. It was just I had no interest. By this point, I had zero interest. And knowing that Saki's
Mm.
the last person in the match, I'm like, okay. And Saki Kashima gets her special crucifix pin and gets the win on Billy Can Death and earns a
Mhm,
shot at the any title shot she wants.
mhm, mhm,
So
mhm.
yeah.
That in itself is a little concerning. What I did enjoy about this last little bit was how it was almost like not even really much of a wrestling match, which just maybe that's maybe not the right term. It was a wrestling match, but it was more of a near fall kind of thing where it was like
Mm-hmm.
what was it, Billy Khan was getting on these near falls, roll up, pin attempt, roll up, pin attempt, roll up, pin attempt, roll up, pin attempt. The ending almost seemed to be like Kashima losing her absolute shit and just doing what she needed to do to pick up that win. um yeah, or sorry, doing what she needed to. But yeah, man, this one was a bit of a cluster, like I said at the beginning, comparable to a North American cluster F, but slightly more organized and a little bit more fun.
Yeah, like throughout, like the wrestling was really good to me up until
Hmm.
the last match of this thing. I
Hmm.
was enjoying everything like or the last two because like again it was I don't know I just you put Fuki in something and it brings it down for me. It's just that's again I just don't care because like she
It's
just
a clown thing. It's a little weird.
I just find her annoying more than anything. She just annoys me. That's the
I
biggest thing.
will
She
say
annoys me.
though, these gauntlet style matches I do prefer as opposed to the Rumble style matches. I just feel that
Mhm.
there's again a lot more organization. Feels a little easier on the wrestlers, and it's a lot easier for like what's the word, the kayfabe of it all, where it's like you don't see people just standing there waiting for their spots to come up or laying around on the outside waiting for their
Mhm.
moment to come. These gauntlet matches give us that kind of opportunity to see these women wrestle, and I really kind of like it. I'd like to see a lot more of these kind of style matches coming into this year.
Yeah, I did enjoy this overall once I figured out the
Mm.
rules.
Yes, please give us the rules every time.
Like, put out a press release and tell us what the rules of this match are going to be, please.
Yeah, or just give us the match card early so I can look it up. Translate it. Moving on.
We got a triangle derby match, the only triangle derby
Ooh.
match on this show, and it is
Mm.
unique glares. Haruka, Umesaki, Ruaka, and Starlight Kid taking on the team of classmates, which is Hazuki, Koguma, and Iida. I thought
Mm.
great match from all these women, and
Mhm.
the biggest surprise to me was the finish. That
Mhm.
classmates actually pick up the win. There's this like a really great roll up exchange at the end where they just keep rolling each other up, and then
Mhm.
Koguma gets
Mhm.
like like it's her. I can't remember what hers is called, but it's the
The
same
little
move as Saida
that
does,
little
the
bridge
Iida
thing,
Bash.
yeah.
Like it's the same as Saida's Iida Bashi, and gets the
Mhm.
pin on Starlight Kid of all people, and
Mhm.
gets the win.
Mhm.
Like dude, this was really fun. Like it was a
Mhm.
fun overall match.
100%. Each and every single woman in this match performed just 10 out of 10 for me. Starlight Kid and Koguma, they're kind of those high speed girls. Koguma always amazes me how fast she can go. The exchange at the beginning with the ears thing, of course, always funny with me with Koguma. I just love it. I had an interesting observation I wanted to discuss with you about Haruka Umesaki, actually. I felt that this was the most vicious that we have seen her in Stardom with the Umesaki character since joining Unique Glare. Like up until this point, she's kind of just been the hee hee, here I am, haha. And that's fine. I really like the character. I mean, you can see by the picture, it's very adorable. But this Karma character is known for being a lot more savage and a lot more vicious, as opposed to the Umesaki. And we saw a lot more savagery out of Umesaki in this match. Do you think, Andre, that they could be preparing to have this little changeover of Umesaki
What do you mean?
going through an identity crisis and kind of almost transitioning into the Karma character on Stardom?
I would love to see that because like
Mm.
I prefer her her other character than this one. I really do.
Mm.
Or it's just I think it's a more interesting character. You know what I
Mhm, mhm.
mean? So
Yeah.
again, it's a personal opinion and all, but
Mhm.
yeah, I
'Cause, like,
just it's just
if we're thinking about, like, how we've seen Umasaki wrestle up until this point, it has been I don't wanna say almost fairy-like, 'cause it hasn't been comparable to Natsupoi at all, but, like, in that kind of comparison from Umasaki to, Karma, Umasaki is very tee-hee, very cutesy, and wrestles as such and is usually very screamy, whereas, like,
mhm,
Karma's not like that. She's the one making you scream. So I'm
yeah.
very curious to see what happens with this one.
Yeah, so quick point update here. I just literally pulled it up from the internet. I downloaded that and pulled it up. Power Passion Pineapple in the red triangle. Power Passion Pineapple 8. Queen Quest 7. Club Venus has 8. Sorry, I forgot about. I messed up that up. I didn't have that in order. Cosmic Angels with 6. Unique Glare and Bari Bombers with 4. And H&M with nothing in the red triangle
Mhm.
block. In the blue triangle block, you have Aribon and GE with 9. Prominence with 8. Rebel X Enemy with 6, Oedatai or Gold Ship with 6, My
Mhm.
Hemi with C, and Classmates now getting up to 4 points to join My Hemi with C at 4 points, which is really weird. The women are about to challenge for the tag team titles are at the same point level as Classmates. It's just odd as hell. And then Lollipop alone in last with 0 points.
Yeah, yeah. This has been an incredible tournament because, like, I feel like we had our thoughts on who is going to be dominant in this, and I
Mhm.
feel that we've had a lot of surprises. This has
Very
been a
much
lot
so.
of fun, though.
Like, I have
Ruaka.
no idea what the
Oh,
finals are gonna be. I have 0 idea what these finals are gonna be, man.
no.
I
I
know
just
it's not
want
gonna
to
be
shout out
Lollipop.
Ruaka. Ruaka's been showing up and showing out this entire tournament for her team, being that powerhouse that she needs to be. I am absolutely loving her development, and I'm loving watching the character kind of evolve within Oedo Tai. She's kind of gone from being the like almost tag along girl to being like almost like what is it in the mafia, like a right hand man kind of
Well,
thing, like
I
a
think it was the tag team tournament that really
BMI.
evolved her,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so
100%,
and we'll get a
100%.
little more on that later, but
Yes,
yeah,
please.
yeah, so we're gonna move on to the 6-woman tag match.
Oh,
It is Queen's Quest Azumi, Lady C, and Utami Hayashishita taking on God's Eyes, Amy Sohrei and Syuri, and Konami. I have never watched a Konami match personally because because she retired a little while
just before
before
we
we
started,
started
yeah.
doing this. Well, about 6. Well, she came back earlier this year, but was
Mhm,
wrestling very infrequently. And I know she wrestled recently on a show, but I missed that show. I didn't end up
mhm,
watching it. But
mhm.
dude, I want more Konami, man. And I got to go back and watch the match she had with Giulia in 2021 at Dream Queendom. From what I hear, it was amazing. And that's the match she had. She's retiring after, or
Mhm,
temporary retiring after. But dude,
mhm, mhm.
I'm really
Even
big
her
fan.
temporary retirement match was amazing.
Yeah, dude, this girl is absolutely phenomenal, and I want more Konami. And her look is absolutely Like
Mhm,
her overall look is absolutely stunning.
mhm, mhm,
Yeah,
mhm. Uh-huh. When
and
I
she
actually first started watching Stardom, she was my pick because I started
nice.
watching when I first started watching Stardom, she wrestled I think 4 more months before doing her soft retirement.
Hmm.
And for me, she was in Oedo Tai, Andre, Oedo Tai. So you can imagine how much of a badass this
Hmm.
woman was being in the faction of Oedo Tai because at that point Natsuko Toro was not hanging around. She had that torn ACL, so she was out on
Mm.
injury. So Konami was kind of being that, and you can see from her body language, she kind of hunches a little bit. She has that intimidating, almost Shayna Baszler esque kind of
But if you
posture.
watch her in this match, she it was less of that
Yeah,
because
yeah, but think about it in Oedo Tai.
because you can just
That's
see
how
it in
she
you
was.
just
That
look
was
at
my intro.
look at the picture of her on
Oh, so
here.
amazing.
It's that hunching look, like you see that it's that
Yeah,
hunching look right there. That's
that's actually her Oedo Tai gear too.
yeah. I was gonna
Mhm.
say I would assume that's probably her
The
Oedo Tai
purple,
gear.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
she's
yeah.
absolutely amazing. She was the one person who actually really caught my attention and pulled me into Stardom. So when she retired, I was like genuinely emotional about it because I was like, no, this was the person who brought me into this. I just got into this. But it also introduced me to Utami, who, oh, Andre, what did you think of this match overall, though?
I had a lot of fun watching this. I think again, and I think this is something they've been doing a lot with a lot of Lady C matches. This is a Lady C show along with a Konami, but it's also a Lady C showcase because she really got a
Mm-hmm.
lot of great offense in this. The choke
Yes.
slams, that just doing the. I mean, as I'm now calling it, the lady toss to Konami when she does a spin
I
into.
like
I'm
it. I
gonna
like
call
it.
it the lady toss now until I get an
I
official
like
name
it.
for it. I'm calling it the lady toss. But yeah, in the end though, C rolls through an armbar by Kenobi, hits the choke slam, but Konami fights like or goes for the choke slam, but fights it off, and she gets an
What is it? Yeah.
enziguri, and then gets like a leg, like a arm trap leg around the head DDT. And then
Right?
it's like applies a modified armbar to Lady C, and Lady C has to tap out. But
She
awesome,
has no
like
choice.
awesome finish, like
I've never
absolutely
seen a
phenomenal.
submission like that. Never
Like,
seen a submission
it
like
was,
that.
it
It's
was,
absolutely incredible. And this is just like that is scratching the surface of what Konami is actually capable of. Like this match for her, utterly incredible. But like as someone who's been a fan of her, and like you need to
hmm.
believe me in the same way I told you Thekla, this woman
Oh, I'm already in.
is
I'm already in.
Oof. I absolutely at that beginning with Konami and Azumi, just that high speed, high strike, high submission technicality. Holy heck in hell! That
Mhm.
start, I was just like, yes, This is a setup for the
I'm
rest of
all
the
in
match.
on Konami, man. That's this
Oh
one match
yeah,
has made me go,
so great.
yeah, this girl's gonna be something, or
Suri
probably already
again,
is, but
super moody in this one. But again, I love Suri without the belt. Her attitude is phenomenal. We're seeing this personality out of her that we weren't quite getting when she had the title, and I'm absolutely living for it. The last thing I want to say is there was one point when Utami got in here. I mean, she just tanked her way. Obviously,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Utami is a tank. She tanked her way through everything, having a great standoff with Ami, showing off her both of their powers in this situation. But there was a really, really desperate power bomb that Utami had to pull off on Kunami
Mm-hmm.
because Kunami was just wrecking her shit. She just had to pop her up. She barely got her all the way up and dropped her. I was
Yeah,
actually very
I really wrote it down as a power bomb style slam is what I called it. I didn't
yeah.
even know like
It just looked super desperate, and in that moment, because again, Utami was getting
mm-hmm.
wrecked, and it was just like, stop it. That was essentially a forced timeout on Konami right there.
Yeah,
I absolutely
and she pulled a knee
loved it.
bar, and she pulled a knee bar out of it too. Like Tommy
Yeah.
getting a knee bar out of that too. So yeah,
Hmm.
really good. Like I
Absolutely great match.
really good back and forth there. So we move
Hmm.
on to the next match of the evening. So far I am uh 1-2
Hmm.
on no sorry I think I'm 0-3 on my picks for this show because I made some picks uh going into this show with
Hmm.
going over with
Hmm.
Common Ground MTG. He was asking what's
Yeah.
your picks for the show, and so I gave him my picks. I'm gonna pull it up right here right now. I want to see where I'm at.
Yes,
Sorry.
sir. Let's
Okay, I
let's
did pick Classmates to win, so I am 1-2 right now because I picked Queen's Quest to beat God's Eye, and
mm,
yeah, and I picked Mina Shirakawa to win the roulette. So yeah, so far not so great. So we're going into this one. It's Mirai versus no, I rolled up.
Chihiro Hashimoto.
Chihiro, yeah, Chihiro. No, I had to scroll back down to my notes. I scrolled up for some
Oh.
reason. Chihiro Hashimoto. This was dude. She's not taller than her, but she's built like this girl is built like a brick
She's
shit house,
stacked.
man.
Oh yeah,
She's
she's
built like
stacked.
a brick shit house, dude. She look
She
the
reminds me of
power of the
Kat Von Hees.
yeah, a very
Mhm.
similar build, maybe a little bit
Yeah,
bulkier, but dude,
much
like this
shorter.
this is very much a story about Mirai, who's usually a power person,
Mhm.
having to fight up to. I'm gonna say Chi. I'm gonna say Chihi or something. I'm gonna mess this up multiple
Say
times.
Hashimoto.
Hashimoto. There we go. So just going up to Hashimoto's power and just like dueling with her again. This is
Mhm.
just a pure like just two people just trying to wreck each other and like
Mhm.
it's Mirai trying to catch Kimura's trying to get chokes, just trying to take this girl down, and it's absolutely phenomenal. There was a spot where Mirai goes for her wheelbarrow into the half thousand slam, but Hashimoto turns it into an ankle, like rolls through into an ankle lock. Then
Mhm.
two huge German suplexes, just dropping Mirai on her head twice, and hits this giant lariat afterwards. Like
Mhm.
holy crap! But she only gets two, so she hits this giant German suplex with the bridge and gets the win. Again, now I
Mhm.
am 2-2 on my picks for tonight. I had never seen this girl, and I'm like, I'm picking her to beat Mirai because I'm like, and then dude, and then after the match, Syuri getting in the face of Hashimoto, and it looks like we're
Mhm.
getting Syuri versus Hashimoto. Now, like this girl might work her way through God's Eye, just crushing
Mhm.
God's Eye, man.
Mhm. Yeah, I think wasn't it at Queendom where Hashimoto showed up and challenged Surya initially, and Mirai was
Yeah,
the one who came out and said, "Nay, nay, I say, you
mhm.
fight me first." And
Yeah.
this was the fall down to this one. You're absolutely right. I felt that this match was about Hashimoto, and let's be honest, she was confident as heck going into this. Her mannerisms, her facial expressions, there were so many points where she was tossing Mirai around, which in itself is so crazy to say because she, again, Mirai, powerhouse in her own right and faction. She is
Look at those
being
shoulders.
thrown around by Hashimoto, and Hashimoto at points like, I don't know if you were catching the same thing, man. She looked annoyed, just tossing her around like, what is this? What is
Why am
this
I fighting
challenge?
you? I should be fighting Suri.
Yeah.
That's the kind of air that she had. And she proved what?
Exactly. She
She
had
proved it.
that confidence that almost came off as arrogant. And I loved it because it was similar to you. And you, I feel the same way about. And yeah, this was having an answer for everything that Mirai was throwing at her. It was like she had studied absolutely everything about Mirai down to the subtle nuances that she knew when she was setting it up, so she knew how to reverse it. She had an answer for absolutely everything, and it was like you can tell, I think at one point it was frustrating Mirai, especially when
Hmm.
she's starting to take those shots to the face, and she was not holding back on those. She was cranking Mirai right across the face. There were some points where I almost felt like it almost like snapped Mirai back into what was going on.
Hmm.
Like she would take a hit and just be like,
Oh,
"What?"
I'm getting smacked here.
Yeah, and like this was about domination.
Hmm.
And Hashimoto in this match, despite Mirai getting a little bit of offense on her, it was about Hashimoto's dominance. It's just pure and simple.
And I gotta say this to the athleticism Hashimoto. That flip
Yeah.
senton was awesome. When
Oh,
dude,
and
like
out
to
of
show,
nowhere.
like for like how her build is, and to do a flips. I don't know if it's flip senton or it was almost like a front flip leg drop. Maybe
Hmm.
it was. I
Hmm.
don't know, but whatever it was, like the athleticism just to do that flip was a lot. And with a girl that size, you don't see people like that build doing flips, and she did it. And I'm like,
Hmm.
damn, this girl's gonna be killer. I am all in on this girl's run this year, man. I really or this
100%.
sorry this lady's run this year.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
I that was my first introduction to her. I don't know where she is, but I gotta find it.
yeah. So we move on to the next match of the evening, and it is 7 Up, the Goddess of
Hmm.
Stardom champions, defending their titles against my Hemi, Himeka, and Maika. Now this was absolutely phenomenal. Um, like the power of you, and there's so much to this one. Like just the
Hmm.
clotheslines from and domination from 7 Up, but then Himeka going for a knee strike off the apron and damaging her knee.
Hmm.
And that was what, whenever Himeka was in, that's what Nanae and you were going after the rest of the match.
Hmm.
Like, just it told like an awesome story. But like towards the end, I was like, my pick was my Hemi to take the titles, and I was like, oh, this is gonna happen. Oh yeah, because just the way everything was rolling, I'm thinking, okay, they're taking the
Hmm.
titles, and then I felt like I got a dagger to the heart when
Yeah.
Nane hit that like hammerlock side driver to Himeka and got the win. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it broke my heart. Like I was so ready to see my
Mhm,
Hemi take
mhm.
these titles, and it was just like,
I agree. I agree. Especially the way Micah was fighting so hard to make up for the injured Himeka, and taking care of her partner, like showing some genuine concern for her partner in that. I absolutely loved it. The beginning of this match, though, holy hot diggity! I mean, it just started out fast and went fast from beginning to end, even when Himeka was injured. Micah and you just coming in like a shot, just shoulder check, shoulder check, shoulder check, shoulder check, lariat attempt, like absolute power from these women was absolutely incredible. I mean, you know how I feel about Micah. Like, that's my girl crush there. She looked phenomenal in that gear. Um, yeah, the knee again, as you had mentioned, became a huge target to Nane and you almost instantaneously. Like, didn't you or not you? Nane got out there and actually like threw Himeka back into the ring before the count out
mhm.
and just started working it over immediately. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
Himeka did a great job selling it the whole time.
I
She
legit
she
thought she was injured. Like but like early on, because like
mhm,
when
she
she
couldn't put
went
weight on it.
like when she went to the floor, the way they had kind of paused everything and the ref came out was checking on her in that
Mhm.
way, and that
Micah running
Nane
over.
Nane and you just kind of backing off.
It was
Like
smart.
I thought we were in an actual like injury situation, like, and then Hemika, like when
Speaks
she
to
went,
their experience, though.
but and I think that's Nane and you going. Let's let this play out. And again, they obviously was a planned spot for her to have the knee injury for the match.
100%,
But
100%.
that was great work by, I think, Nanae and you not to engage her quickly, to let it breathe and make people think, oh, is this girl actually hurt? And I was like, oh my god, dude, please God, don't let this match end here.
I was scared of that too. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm like, please God, don't let this force them to have to keep the titles and not let the titles change because Himeka's actually hurt, so they're not going to flip the titles. And I was just, oh, dude, this match was so good, and to me, it created such a great story.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And it gave Maika that, like, it gave Himeka that underdog. I'm fighting through this injury, and it gave Maika that I have to step up and be more than just me to be there, to be that extra thing for my partner. And it created this awesome story.
Talk real quick about the freaking strength of Maya suplexing you.
So yeah, you was seated on the top turnbuckle, and then she pulls her off, and like it wasn't just she went and went back right away, because like some people would just grab her and like it was just be you essentially doing a front flip forward and them looking like they're suplexing, but she lifted her and carried her for a good couple seconds and then dropped her. Damn, that power.
Right? Like, bad things to say on that. We're gonna move on from that and also say that snap body slam by Maika also on you again. Just the power. Gosh dang. And then she also has that spinning forearm that she does. So she followed up that the snap body slam that she did on you with that roundhouse forearm onto Nanae. They weren't expecting that at that point of the match, and that's what made it so much more amazing.
And my Himi hitting the Olivia Newton bomb in the middle to Nanae in this match. I'm calling that it forever. You can blame
Hey,
Kevin
they're not
Kelly.
Australian, but they're close enough.
Doesn't matter. You can blame Kevin Kelly. I'm calling that
Close
forever.
Enough. Just blame Kevin.
Yeah, dude, but awesome match. Then after the match,
Phenomenal.
BMI 2000, baby, coming out to challenge, man. This is going to be a sick match. Ruaka, Tora. I didn't get because I was watching a copy before it had dropped on Stardom-World. I had found a way to watch it, and we subscribe to Stardom-World. Don't worry, we pay for it. But I didn't go back and look. I didn't go and look at the speech after. But essentially, it's them challenging for these titles. BMI wants a shot, and dude, that match is going to be nothing but power and awesomeness.
And again, I couldn't tell what was going on. I did watch the whole promo part. I don't know what was going on. There was hair pulling, there was anger, there was frustration, there was smacking. It was awesome. This is going to be great.
I can't wait for this match. So we move on to the semi-main event of the evening. This is Saya Kamitani taking on Momo Watanabe for the Wonder of Stardom title. So I'll admit, this was the match I had least like interest in going into the show. Again, for me, it's I'm not really into Saya Kamitani's run as champion. I think this lady is an absolutely amazing professional wrestler. I just haven't really gotten into her character.
That's fair.
And Momo, again, amazing professional wrestler, but out of all these people in a way to tie, and at first I was really enjoying her, but I think she's kind of, to me, the least person standing out in a way to tie right now. The Starlight Kid's having these amazing matches with people, or the stuff she's doing with people is amazing. Tora and Ruaka are having this just phenomenal run as a tag team and everything, and looking like these absolute monsters. That, to me, it really overshadows Momo Watanabe, and I've kind of just lost interest in her. But this match was absolutely phenomenal between both these women. Again, like I said, there was a couple matches on the show that I didn't have interest in going in, but I really enjoyed the matches. Like that's what I'm trying to say, is I was not like interested into going in, but this match blew me away. Like I was like, holy moly, watching this match. Like was it the running Meteora that Momo does, but Saya rolls it into a Boston Crab, and then Momo rolls out of it, and then hits the running Meteora properly. Like, dude, like just the transitions from them of this stuff. There's there's the table spots, which was just what the hell, because that looked like it hurt like a mother. So Oedo Tai set up a table. Momo goes for the Dune Buster on the table, and then Saya gets out of it and like Rana's her off of the table to the floor. And like when Saya came down, she clipped the table coming down, so that looked like it hurt. Then she repositioned the table, put Momo on it, went, and this is on the floor, went to the top rope and did a double stomp off the top. The table didn't break.
No.
And just tips over, almost landing on Saya. Dude.
It sure wrecked the legs of the table. Like that one leg got bent pretty badly. But like when tables get brought up in Japanese wrestling in particular, I get very, very nervous. Not just because that wood seems to like cut people up really easily, as we've seen on Ibushi, as we've seen on Kenny Omega, as we've seen on Juice Robinson, as we've seen on Kenta. But then on top of that, you can see as they're setting it up, there's the black frame that goes around the entire wood frame.
It should be removed.
Table. But then on this one, Andre, did you see they had, it looked like a keyboard holder underneath the table. So there's a secondary metal wiring structure.
I didn't even notice that, but yeah.
So yeah, when I saw that, I was like, that's not breaking. I don't even think a dude could break that going on that. But when Saya got up on the table, I did notice the wood buckled under her weight a little bit. So I'm like, okay, she's not very heavy.
Well, the two of them together were on it. So like you gotta, and then especially when Momo picks up Saya for the Dude Bus, that's both their weight in one spot essentially.
That's true.
And that's why I think it bowed a bit. But the table was like, you got to remember, Saya came down hard onto Momo with that stomp, and it did not break. So
but two metal frames.
The legs went a little bit. They went and then it tips over. But yeah, dude, it was.
But that metal frame wasn't given to these girls. They're gonna break before the metal frame.
Yeah, dude, this was insane. There was a great poison Rana by Saya Kamitani, like that. Dude,
lots of shenanigans too. We have to mention this was essentially, a Oedo Tai match, which with their House of Torture sort of affiliates, there was some outside shenanigans, but they weren't to the point where, unlike House of Torture, they were detrimental to the match itself. It added to the entertainment to see Oedo Tai taking out the other Queen's Quest girls, to see them taking out the ref, to see them it wasn't obnoxious. It was fun.
Yes, let me get to the end here. Saya ends up turning the Peach Thunder driver into a bulldog, which was really cool. Saya gets a backslide to Momo and then flips her over and Kamagoys her in the face for a 2. Saya hits the Peach Sunrise and then the Star Crusher, but still only a 2. And you're like, what the hell? So she goes up to the top, hits the Firebird Splash, which is the 450 splash, and gets the win. Oh my God. This, again, I wasn't super like this one. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, well, it'll be good. But dude, these two killed it.
Yeah.
I've officially put this one into my list for matches of the year, but it's down towards the bottom of the matches I have put into my list this year, because I have a certain threshold of matches. If it's not at least a 4-star match, in my opinion, it's not going on my list, because that's not it. There's got to be a cutoff at that point, because we got so much more, and we got so much more coming this year. So, but dude,
like the next match.
Dude, yeah. This, I will tell you where this one ranks. We are moving on to the main event of the evening. It is the World of Stardom title. It's Giulia defending against Suzuki.
What's that line you always use? Boy howdy?
Boy howdy, this was a banger.
Boy howdy yeehaw.
Yeah, dude, these two killed each other. Like, you thought Syuri versus Giulia was insane. This wasn't I wouldn't say this is that quite there, but this far away. these two went to
See, I feel
war
it was
with each
pretty
other.
equal for me.
This
But
two,
that's also
these,
because I enjoyed the personality of Suzu in this one versus the personality of Syuri in the
yeah,
Queendom show,
but
because she was so
these two, and these
serious.
like they have such a good personal history. This might,
Yeah.
but just I think everything that led that match to be what it was. But this was so
Mhm.
good. Running her into the chairs in the crowd, Suzu running Giulia into the chairs in the crowd.
Yeah.
The headbutts that Giulia was smashing to Suzu, and then Suzu coming back, just roundhouse kicking her in the head and dropping her. Like,
Mhm.
dude, the German suplexes from Suzu were just murderous.
Brutal.
There was a spot where Giulia gets like an Indian deathlock and like pulls her into a guillotine, but Suzu fights out and just starts slapping Giulia in the face. So she
Mhm.
catches the arm and puts it into a Kimura while in the Indian deathlock, and Suzu gets to the ropes. But
Mhm.
like the whole thing is just this crazy. There was an apron spot
Mm.
where Suzu got Giulia and like pile drove her into the corner of the apron, but like
Mhm.
it wasn't her head that hit. It was like the top, like her neck / upper back that hit, and then
Mhm.
just lets Giulia go, who falls on the floor on her head.
Mhm. And then she just sat there laughing about it. Like, I'm telling you, if you have the Suzuki last name, chances are
You're a
you're a
sick
little
motherfucker.
homicidal.
Is she related to Minoru? Because like
I don't
she's,
know, but after this match, I think she is.
I believe she is, or just taking that name does something to somebody. It's oh my god,
It
like
turns on a switch that turns you into this absolute powerhouse that just knows how to reverse things, how to hurt people, and enjoy it. Like,
yeah,
she just, the laughing and the smiling as she's doing all of this,
it's sick.
it's utterly amazing. But then to know that these girls are just slapping the smack out of each other, and look how pretty they are.
And at
Like,
the end,
my God. And Giulia also ripping that tape off
and that
of
the red in her hair. Mwah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
both of them actually.
So
I
there is
really enjoy Giulia's evolution in this. It does really, as she has said in the past, adds to her charm with her constant evolution of her outfits, because it creates excitement. Because not only are you
Mhm.
excited to see Giulia, excited to see the world champion, now you're like excited to see what she could be wearing today.
Mhm.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah. So there's a couple big spots off the top. Suzu hitting like a
Hmm.
half Nelson side slam off the second rope, following it
Yeah.
with a hammerlock back top driver with the
Mhm.
bridge for two. Like, dude. And then she got the spot off the top where she hit a German off
Mhm.
the top. They hit, and then she bridges her. Like usually when you hit a German off the top, it kind of blow apart. She held on and bridged her
She moved
for
her
two.
back into the bridge.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I was
god,
surprised Julia kicked out of that. That looked horrible.
dude! Suzuki getting the tequila shot at one point on Giulia,
Hmm.
but Giulia kicks out of Suzuki's tequila shot, which is one of her two big moves.
Right.
She gets Suzu hitting the essentially the rolling chaos theory, which is that the roll through Germans, but only gets
Hmm.
two. Like, and just so
It was a great match.
Giulia hits the glorious driver onto Suzuki, gets the hammerlock driver onto Suzuki, but Suzuki kicks out. And you're like,
Mhm.
holy shit. So she picks her up, hits her when she first hit this move at Dream Queendom, she put the post up and it said Vermilion on it. She hit Vermilion and gets the win. Holy shit. This is entering my top 5 matches of the year. I'm still debating on where it's sitting. Right now it's sitting at number 4 behind Brian Danielson and Bandito, Will Ospreay and Taichi, and then
Mm.
Will Ospreay and Omega, which is number 1. It's behind those three,
Yeah.
and those three were absolute bangers.
Mhm.
The more I think about it, this might go ahead of Brian and Bandito just for if I feel like what my feeling and what this match means. I think
Mhm.
it might move ahead. I'm not sure yet, but dude,
I haven't
holy
seen
crap!
the Danielson Bandito one, but it intrigues me because I'm a big Bandito fan. So
It,
I have to
it
take a look at that
it's
to
one of
see
the
if I
it's a
compare
wrestling
to you.
classic, man. That's a wrestling classic.
This Sir, this was a wrestling classic. This is what I want to see more of right here is these kinds of world championship defenses. Because holy hot diggity, Suzu put up such a fight, and even at the end, even in defeat, she still looked like I had no idea what she was saying. Obviously, I don't speak Japanese for
Oh,
the formula.
I went to the thing
Hold
this
on,
morning. I
let me
went.
finish the
Oh,
thought. Let me finish the thought.
sorry.
She looked like she was giving her so much sass afterwards. Still, even in defeat, it was amazing that what the malicious smile that Suzuki still had on her face after this defeat was absolutely just it was what I want to see out of characters and character development within professional wrestling in general, not just with Suzuki. What did she say, Andre? What
So,
did she say?
sorry, I was just updating my list because I forgot I hadn't put. I was talking about putting the Momo Asaya match on there, but I didn't.
Don't
So after
forget,
the
sir.
match, Giulia does say that she knew their path would cross again, and she thanks Suzu for showing up the way she did. And she says this line, which was the big sticking point of it all. I look forward to the day that Suzu is by my side again.
Mm.
Because they're former partners from their
Mhm.
time in Joshi or Tokyo Joshi Pro, I think it was,
That is
or
true. That is
whatever the
true.
company was. So Suzu gets the mic and says, Giulia is really something else, and she's completely different from the Giulia that they used to talk about their dreams about with.
Mm.
So she says she lost today, but has a new goal, and that's to win the red belt and give the world give pro wrestling the most interesting view. Again, the wording's a little odd, but okay, it's in its translation, right? She
I mean, you
says,
can insert that what you want, yeah.
yeah, she says, you don't want to stand next to me because that ending will never happen. The story of Suzu versus Giulia is not over. And that's when she left.
Hmm. We've
Dude.
got a Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens situation on our hands. Fight forever, guys.
Oh,
And I
dude.
would not be upset about that.
And then everything after was just Giulia thanking the crowd and saying,
Pomp and
I'm loving
circumstance.
the pomp and circumstance that they give out at the end of every show. But, dude,
Yes.
holy
This show was
moly.
incredible.
Yeah. This
I
show
wish I didn't
exceeded my
start watching it
expectations.
so late. I was exhausted by the end of it.
Yeah. You were up till 3 this morning watching this thing.
I was, and that was a poor choice.
I
I
finished
got
the
4 hours of sleep.
I finished the main event at 8:30 this morning. Like I
Oh
watched
dang!
half the show last night, and then I watched the last couple matches this morning. And I'm so happy I did because everything's still flowing through my head for this match.
Good.
Oh,
What a match.
dude. This main event was just killer.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what and who they have making matches over in Japan right now, but like NJPW Stardom are putting out banger matches just back to back, show to show. Since I feel like December. It's just been solid, 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 solid. So like whatever decision you guys made or whoever you hired in that moment, thank you.
Well, it's still Gato in New Japan as far as I know, so that's what's weird because he's had made some
I
really
mean,
strange
Gato's
bookings.
been there a hot minute and still hasn't fixed the House of Torture and Master Watto problem. So, like, I'm not willing to give Gato credit over there until he starts really fixing things.
But he's done a good job with other stuff, though. Come on.
He has, but as
Look
you've
at that
said
junior
before,
division.
Gato fix it.
Look at that junior division, though. It's stellar. The best that junior division's been in years. Like just with the
Yeah.
amount of people and the amount of guys they have that are just top for them. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, House of Torture is a part of Gato's faction, arguably. So, like, you may as well make your faction look good and not like a waste of time. And let's be honest, House of Torture, biggest waste of time.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be talking about NJPW on a Stardom show, though, without
But
talking
I
about
do
our
want to give a
girls.
quick preview to everybody. So this is out on Friday the 10th. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
time this comes out of that day. We'll get it out at some point because we have a
8
very
a.m.
busy day for the rest of the ninth because we have wrestling to go watch tonight. Me and
Yes,
myself,
we
Mel, and a bunch
do.
of our friends. So actually, for that coming up Monday, will be
Mm-hmm.
Chop Talk with myself, Mel, and our guest host, our good friend Cody Defoe, will be here, and we'll be talking.
Defoe.
We'll be talking the Top Talent Pro Wrestling Show featuring New Japan Pro Wrestling superstar Tom the Filthy Lawler, baby. I am
No, it's filthy.
so
Just filthy. Filthy Tom Lawler. Come
I'm
on.
so excited to meet him.
Uh,
And he's facing former UFC fighter and current awesomeness in the local Alberta wrestling scene, the ultraviolent Mitch Clark, and I can't wait.
Mitch the bitch. That's what the crowd calls him.
Not me, but they're
I'm the
crazy.
crowd.
If you ever want to watch some great stuff that has to do with the local Alberta independent wrestling scene, check out the Rads have this awesome show on YouTube called Tales from the Undercard, and it's the funniest thing I've ever watched. It's better than BTE. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Yeah, Rich King makes that worth watching.
Oh yeah, but we're here at the end of the show. I got to give some thank yous. We got to thank our friends over at Rogue Energy for sponsoring this show. You can scan the QR code down the bottom or go to rogueenergy.com. Promo code OLE Pods for 10% off your order. And speaking of the OLE Pods, we got to thank our friends over at our local establishment podcast network, baby. They can check them on Twitch, on YouTube. I know some of them they actually have podcasts coming out. You can check them. I should bring up their information down here at the bottom. Like that would really help me for this one. You can catch them on Twitch at twitch.tv/our local establishment, on TikTok and Instagram at OLE Podcast, and on YouTube at youtube.com/at our local establishment. And also to thank partners, I want to thank our good buddy, my man who's been my friend for going on a decade now, Mr. Mike the Ref over at Backbreaker Video. Thank you so much for simulcasting all of our stuff. He puts out awesome content, wrestling, video game related. You can check him out on YouTube at Backbreaker Video, on YouTube at Backbreaker Gaming, on twitch.tv/Mike the Ref, where I did get to pop into the chat last night for a little while during the AEW show, but I wasn't watching the show. I was just getting updates from them in the chat with them while I was watching this. I was watching this show. So, dude, absolutely phenomenal stuff from Mike. And if you are watching us on Mike's channel, Backbreaker Video, please check out Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk on YouTube. Mel just dropped out and dropped back in. That was really weird.
I was going to say what's happening right now. I'm just pointing.
You dropped out of the street. That was really, really weird. If you are watching us over on Backbreaker Video, please check us out, Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk on YouTube, on Facebook. Please check us out. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. And I want to thank everybody that's liked and subscribed to our videos. I got to bring up his name because he's our biggest, like one of our most well-meaning contributors of fans that are talked to us. It's Common Ground.
Always in the comments with us.
Yeah, it's Common Ground MTG. Thank you so very much for all the engagement you have given us. We really do appreciate it. And to anyone else, put your comments in the videos. Send us stuff on Twitter, on the Facebook page. We will happily respond to you, unless you're a bot that's saying, "Hey, we want you to wear our jewelry," because we keep getting those, and that's just annoying. But thank you all so much for all the support you've given us and everything.
And my friend, if you're wanting to watch Stardom live, you can go to the description box below there. I'll leave a link for you. It is Stardom, stardom-world.com. It is 920. I am figuring it out. I'm figuring out which one's which. 920 yen, approximately $10 Canadian. Might be a little cheaper for you if you're American because your dollar is better than ours right now. But if you want to go check out this incredible show or any of the other incredible shows, catch up on the Triangle Derby. So maybe you can let us know in the comments who you think is going to take that Triangle Derby. You can go there and check that out. Again, that will be in the description box below. Club Venus must be Andre's pick over there. And Andre, where else can the people find you in social media and what you're doing? I know you're doing something here with our local establishment coming up.
Yeah, so scrolling on the bottom, you can catch me on Twitter at the Canada Guy, Instagram at the Canada Dude. I don't have it written in here, and I got to write in for Mel too. I got you can catch me at that Canada Guy on Mastodon, and I'm also at that Canada Guy on Hive. Again, I don't post much on those because again I'm still very new, getting used to. So I'm not good at social media to begin with. That's everything's Mel. She's amazing at this, and also I'll be on OLE next weekend, the weekend of the 17th, 18th. We haven't set our day yet, but we will be on that on either Saturday or Sunday on the 17th or is it 17th, 19th? I think so. Or sorry, the 18th, 19th. We're going to be on either the 18th or 19th. The 17th is the day Ant-Man comes out. I'm going on the 16th to watch it that evening. Going to watch, and we're going to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantum Mania with myself and Old Ed, and we don't know yet if we're going to have a third person on the show yet. And we'll be reviewing the movie, and we're good. I want to put this out there to anybody. It will have spoilers, so. We're going to talk about it.
It is a movie review. That means there will be spoilers, you guys. Don't go into a review not thinking there's going to be spoilers.
And Mel, where can we find you?
So what is today? Today is Thursday. This will be out Friday, 8 a.m. At 5 p.m. today. You can catch myself and the amazing, beautiful, talented Astrid Pizarro on our show on our local establishment and on Astrid Pizarro's YouTube called Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We are going to be discussing the women that we want to see excel and just the women that you need to look out for in 2023 this year. Andre, don't give away my secrets. You got to watch the show to see who my top five are and to see who Astrid's top five are. I think you guys will be pretty surprised at the drastic difference in what Astrid and I have to say with the ladies. If you're wanting to social, follow a Melball on social. My goodness, I need some more rogue here. You can follow me on Twitter at Collins Melball. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Mastodon at Melball Collins. You can also hook up with me on Facebook at Andre and Melball's Wrestling Talk. Not in that way, Andre. It's Andre and Melball's Wrestling Talk. Jesus. Oh, Andre. It's too early for this ish. Anyway, come be a part of the conversation and hook up with Andre on Andre and Melball's Wrestling Talk. Hey, we're not going to judge here. We just like to talk wrestling. We post thirst traps up there anyway. You can find Soberano Jr. on my feed all the time. Oh, Andre, my God. Okay, we need to get off of here now. Do you have anything left to say to the beautiful people? The beautiful people.
Thank you for showing up. Please like, subscribe, and comment. We want to hear from you.
Oh, what a day. This was a fun episode, Andre. Fun episode. That being said, I am your Melball. That is your Andre. We will see you next time. Mwah!